Hey, I am a man with my feet on the ground, nigga. I stand. I'ma face my problems, don't help it hands. I'm just saying that I never ran. Yeah. I had to ball in spite of the pain. I was tired of the losses, I wanted the game. I want the whole world to know my name. If I make it out, no, I'm bringing the game. They my brothers, yeah, they know my pain. We don't share a mind, but I love them the same. Gotta stay humble, now I stay in my lane. Never let the money fool my brain.
Hey, welcome to Dream Tour. This is the podcast where we take you on a tour of many different types of people's dreams, goals, and today I'm your host, Lucas Watson, and we're going to get you all introduced to our special guest today. What's your name?
Jeremy Caudill. They call me the boss man.
The boss man, huh?
That's it.
All right, where are you from?
I grew up in Springfield, went to Lakemore Elementary School, and been around here pretty much my whole life. I was in the military for a while. It took me out to Colorado, took me to Bosnia.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I got to tour around a little bit.
Yeah, that's good experience. That's what the Dream Tour is all about. Different places, different people, learning about new ways.
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you grew up in the Akron area then. What was it like growing up there for you? Did you like the city of Akron? Did you want to get out?
No, I loved it. I mean, growing up in Lakemore, I mean, that's all I knew. I mean, every day was a brawl, especially when walking to school, it's a fight. Coming home, it was a fight, especially in elementary school.
Yeah.
And then once you got out of elementary school, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that's nice. That's
you definitely
sounds like
learn.
a fun time.
Yeah, you definitely. It's a learning.
It's a learning thing. Yeah. So here on Dream Tour, we're gonna get to know you in the beginning and what you do, and then and then in the second half, we're really gonna get to know who you are. So, to getting to know what you do, let's first get to know what were your first goals. Like, what was the first thing that you remember wanting to be? Even if it was something your mom told you, you told her when you were 5, and you said, "I want to be a race car driver." What was the first thing you wanted to be?
I remember my mom, ever since I could remember, she would preach to me, never get stuck in a job that you don't like. Never do. She just wanted me to be happy. That's it.
That's the most important thing.
That is probably the best advice, and she drilled it into my head from a little kid. So, I mean, it sounds strange, but I've never really had a normal job. I've never worked for the man, getting a W-2. I was always out there doing it.
Just doing whatever.
Working. My first job, I guess it was a job. I was doing singing telegrams.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's very few people that know that.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And my mom actually had to sign because I was under 18 at the time.
Oh, so yeah. That's a good thing that your mom instilled in you, though, because a lot of people work jobs that they hate and they get 10 years into their job and they're happy with the money, but they don't have anything else. Like,
I mean,
that's worse than making a little less money than you want and having a good time.
It's just so common where, parents just drive it into your head. Go to school, get
a doctor,
grades,
be a lawyer.
Be this, be that. Man, she was like, Jeremy, you can do anything you want to do. Anything. She would tell me that every day, multiple times a day.
That's good.
From the time I could remember.
Yeah, shout out to mom.
So I don't know. I was like, oh, let's do it all, man. I don't
do everything. Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I got a little bit of everything that I'm into. I don't have one specific thing. I like a little bit of different fields. Like, I like this podcast. I write movie scripts for fun. I'm running that little company up there. I'm starting an app, so I'm starting the development of that. Awesome. Doing a lot of different little things. I think it's the fun way to.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's some people that are born like that. They just got a little knack for everything.
Yeah, you definitely learn a lot when you try different things. You know what works, what doesn't work. I'm like, oh, man, that was a huge mistake there. I never call it failing. I just know how not to do it again.
Exactly.
I'm like, I'm not failing at nothing. I just know exactly how not to do it.
Thomas Edison learned 100 ways not to make a light bulb before he learned how to make a light bulb.
Colonel Sanders got a lot of no's before he got a yes, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of brilliant people understand that failing is the best way to learn. Yeah. You got to get out there and do it. You can't be scared to fail.
Yeah.
That's to everyone out there. Don't be scared to fail.
Can't be scared. You get no dress rehearsal in life. Just do it.
That's a good one. No dress rehearsal, yeah. All right, so what are you up to now? What are you working on now?
I'm always up to stuff, always up to new things. Right now I have, I just purchased Bob's Hamburg.
Oh.
I purchased it, it's about a year old now, but the history of the place is great.
Really?
It's the oldest local restaurant in Akron.
Oh, wow, that's
the oldest
awesome.
one. It's great. It has a huge history. The place was getting ready to go under. I stepped in. I got it for a smoking deal, and I'm like, I don't know anything about the hamburger business.
Yeah,
Nothing. And I'm like,
you gotta learn on the fly.
But this place had a huge history, and it had the same recipes. Like, I opened up the safe, and it had recipes in there from 1930. So we're doing the exact same recipes, everything from back then, and it's booming right now. It is booming. It's the same grill from the original grill. Like, it's amazing.
That's awesome. That's pretty interesting. If you're from Akron, go check it out.
Like Bob's Hamburg, and I just tried. We just put a food eating challenge on there, and I tried it the other day. I'm still full, and it's been a week. But it's called the Blimp Burger. It's 6 patties.
Ooh.
Then you have to drink a 64-ounce malt milkshake and a pound of fries.
That sounds fun, though.
I did the burger okay, but
man, once you get to the milkshake and
fries,
fries,
that damn milkshake could be a
challenge
itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have, just Bob's. I got Honor Fighting Championship going on. We're just coming off a huge event down in Millersburg.
Yeah, that event was so much fun. I was at the Honor Fighting event. I was actually working selling T-shirts, but those fights are so much fun to watch. If you're from the Akron area, there's one coming up, right?
Yeah, March 14th. It's St. Patrick's Day Massacre. We're going to be the first ever MMA promotion to have a license to the state of Ohio sanctioned midget match.
Oh, that sounds like a great entertainment. Right?
I mean, everything I do, I try to do like, the first of, or just something unique.
Be the first, the best.
Yeah, when we get into
something different.
When we get into Melanie Lake, I got some really good ideas coming up for that this summer too. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that'll be an interesting fight to go see. So if you're from Akron and you like MMA fighting, even if you have never been to one before, my first MMA fight I watched live was Honor Fighting about a year and a half ago, and I have been watching every MMA fight on TV, going to all the Honor fights ever since. It's a great environment. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's lively.
Yeah,
it feels like Akron, Ohio's Las Vegas.
I own OCW too. It's Ohio Championship Wrestling. And Ohio Championship Wrestling is kind of what brought me into the MMA world.
Yeah, because a lot of those guys probably ended up going.
Pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
This is pro wrestling. Well, let me tell you, brother. Hulk Hogan and stuff like that. So, and I kind of brought my production from wrestling over in the MMA, and there's no MMA companies that had that. When you walk out, we got smoke, we got lights everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we make it in.
You came out on the Harley the first time I was ever there.
All right, yeah. We make it, every one of them I want it to be like a show for, the people to be entertained.
Yeah.
I look at pro wrestling, I look at MMA the same exact way to present it.
Yeah,
but one of them I know an outcome, the other one, I don't know the outcome. All right, and then we get Dave here calling. All right, Dave.
All right. So you're running Honor Fighting, Bob's Burgers. You got the wrestling, Bob's Hamburgers.
Yep. OCW. We just came off of an event last Saturday.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah. It was a huge success. Great. It was fun. It's like our WrestleMania is in April.
Okay.
And it's called Tradition. This is going to be Tradition 19.
Akron, Ohio?
Yes.
Okay.
And, Chaparrals. Ohio Championship Wrestling's been around for 19 years.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah,
it's been around for a long time.
Yeah. It's as old as me.
We've had some, people make it to the WWE. An Honor Fighting Championship. Now there's all kinds of UFC guys that came through us. And then, one of the other companies I have is Melanie Lake.
Okay.
It used to be named Kim Tam.
Okay.
Yeah. You been out there?
I have not been there yet.
Been
not there. Not yet. I am actually I just talked to KO, one of the fighters.
Yeah.
He KO is gonna come on the show before his next fight, and he's almost to UFC. He's like in between right now. He's getting really close to the UFC.
Yeah, KO, man, he's a fan favorite. We've had him fight probably 5 times, I think.
Yeah, I was just hanging out with him
huge.
at Town Tavern, and he's a funny guy. He's a good guy, great guy.
I love following him on Facebook.
Yeah.
He puts some funny stuff on there.
Yeah. I'm excited to have him on. All right, so from what your mom was telling you to always do something you like and to what you do now, how do you think those connect? Did it work out? Did you follow through with what your mom's advice was?
Yeah, I definitely followed through with it. In the beginning years, when I was 6, right around 14 to 16, she was always telling me to do good, but I didn't really have much discipline.
Yeah.
I mean, at all. And I was a hellion there for a while. And, and I noticed that, and I knew that I didn't want to go down that path, and I knew I wanted to do better in life, so I actually joined the military.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the best moves I've ever did, and it gave me the discipline I needed. I enrolled in Akron U. I got in the Lone Star fraternity. That was another one of game changers for me in life. I mean, that gave me so many connections that I have now, and it's been huge.
Little stuff that you think isn't going to be important when you're younger, it can mean a whole lot. I mean, in the military, if you have ever been to an honor fighting, or if you plan on going, every single fight they honor the military. I don't know what the deal is, but there's always some veterans there, and they have a table, and you can go up and thank them. You can talk to them. They came and talked to us when we were selling shirts. It's just they do good things for the veterans.
Yeah, we kind of built the business around the vets. About honoring the military, and we actually have the head honcho from the USO. He's on board with us, and we are currently putting together a tour to all the military bases.
And you're gonna have MMA fights for them?
We're gonna, yes. He's he promotes the morale of the troops and everything.
Okay,
So we're gonna go around to these bases. I'd love to get some Navy SEALs on the card. I want to get some military guys on the card.
Oh, that'd be
fighting
cool, yeah.
some other guys. It would be great. I think it'd be huge.
Yeah,
I even go overseas, do it. I'd love it.
That'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
All right, so we see that you've tied together with your childhood and your mom instilling the businessman, the do what you love, the do what your dream is. You really followed the Dream Tour format of following your dreams. That's a great thing. A lot of people that we've had on the show so far are just in the beginning stages, and you're a little farther in. So it's good to see that if you work hard, you can get there. For all the people out there that are following their dreams.
Yeah, you just can't be scared, man. You cannot be scared to do. If you have something in mind that you want to do, you got to do it. So if you don't get the outcome that you want, do it a different way. But do not be scared.
You want to start a podcast? Buy one microphone. Get it figured out, and work your way up to another microphone. Just follow your dreams. You got to do it.
That's it.
And all right. So where do you want to be? What are your goals? Your future goals? 5 years? What are you working on?
Right now, my biggest, probably near-term goal, I kind of break them up. Every day I write down a list, my to-do list every day, and I've done it for the last 20 years it's a Franklin Planner book. And I could actually go back, say, what were you doing on this date, 10 years ago? I could go back and check it. I'll tell you exactly what I was doing. It's crazy. It's like a big log of my life. But I'm working really hard on Melanie Lake. It's a 2.5 artesian spring-fed lake in Springfield, and I'm turning it into a miniature Clay's Park. I mean, this year
that's cool.
This year I'm starting. You're probably too young to remember Rockin' on the River.
Yeah.
In the falls, but they had Rockin' on the River all the time. We're gonna do Rockin' on the Beach every Friday after work from 5 till 8. We're gonna have bands. You could go chill out in the water.
That's awesome.
There's no venue where you can just chill out on your floaty in the water watching bands.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have that. We have the only high dive still left in Ohio. Yeah, you're gonna get out there. We're gonna do a podcast from out there.
That'd be great. That'd be so much fun.
But out there, we use that for Honor Fighting Championship. We have an event there. OCW's out there all the time. Bob's Hamburger. We were out there last year a few times doing Bob's Burgers.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
But yeah, that's kind of my near-term goals. I want to get that place up and rocking.
I just grow that place.
Yeah, I'm gonna have this year. I'm gonna have my first country fest. It's gonna be a 2-day festival. I'm this close to getting Hank Williams Jr.
That'd be awesome.
Springfield. Yeah, that would be pretty neat. I'm gonna have a Monsters of Rock. I have a strongman competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're going to pull boats across the, it's going to be
fun.
Different than the usual ones that you see. We have a Mad Mutter race lined up. I just talked to Duma. You know Duma's?
Yeah, like
Duma
the meats,
yeah, he wants to do the largest ever baptism at the lake. He wants to do a 3,000 person baptism. I guess it would break a record. That'd be sweet.
That's crazy.
That would be that's a good goal. I don't even know if I could park that many people, but I'd love to try.
Yeah, it's worth a shot,
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna turn the podcast, the theme here a little bit. So we were really talking about what you do for the first half, and now we're gonna kind of get into who you are. We wanna give the crowd an idea of who Jeremy is on the inside, because people love what people do, but people love even more what people are. And I think a dream is more than a business plan. I think it's what you want to represent, what you want to be. So let's hear about what motivates you.
It's changed over time. I live like a really simple life, pretty much. I have a Kia out here. I drove a little Kia car to here,
Yeah.
It gets 50 miles a gallon. People are
that's
like,
great.
They're like, why the hell you drive a Kia? I'm like, because it gets 50 miles a gallon.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what motivates me is to live below my means. And I've always thought, the more you give, the more you get. I think about, money and cash a little differently than other people. If you just keep your expenses low, and then you just feel like you have more, power to be able to do things that you've always wanted to do, instead of just slaving away.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
That car, you need that. That activity.
Yeah, I want to jump on my Harley, and I did it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, screw it. I jumped on my Harley and I went around to the 4 corners of the U.S., the continental U.S., the furthest point you could possibly go. I rode 18,000 miles.
That is awesome.
Took 3 months.
Oh,
I flew. Let's see. I flew my wife out to Colorado there for a while. Then my son was flipping out, so I flew him out. And he rode about 2,000 miles.
Oh,
with
wow.
me. Yeah, it was great. So we went. Yeah, it was great. I
That's
loved
fun.
it. But it kind of gives you, the ability to do, what you want.
Yeah, life experience. I think
Yeah.
I've always valued experiences over material. Like the only time I want material is like something I can use, like I like a nice microphone because it gives me value. If something brings me value, it's good. But like having a car that has the same gas mileage as another car that's cheaper, I don't understand. I don't get maybe you think it looks cooler, but this isn't a movie. This is life, I don't need a cool looking car.
All right.
That's just always been my mindset. I drive Honda Civics. I'm a Honda Civic loyalist.
Good.
They're
Yeah.
good gas.
Yeah, they'll get 300,000 miles. That's
And
what
they
I
live
like.
forever. All right. Okay, so who are your biggest inspirations? And so I'm going to ask one inspiration like that it could be your parents, it could be a friend, it could be someone and then I like to know an inspiration of someone you've never met, someone that's maybe famous that really inspires you as well. So give us one of each.
Of course, my mom was one of my biggest inspirations, growing up. She just pounded that in my head from day one. other than my mom, someone I've never met, probably Warren Buffett, how he does investing. I follow him. Actually, I've been into real estate pretty much my whole life too. And when I decided to get into real estate, I'm like, well, who's the best at it? And I Donald Trump. I read every one of Trump's books from day one.
Yeah, he's good at real estate for sure.
So I kind of like learned from him and some of his techniques.
Yeah, he does. He made a lot of money. Man made a lot of money.
Right.
All right, that's some good inspirations there. Yeah, I like one guy that I really like. His name's Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a investor, but he's all a web investor. He started with email marketing in the 90s, and he invested in Facebook and Twitter and like all the social media when it was coming out. And he built this, I think it was a wine business that he built the first like online buying wine. He built the first website for that. And he took like his dad's $4 million business to like a $10 million business in a matter of a few years as like a 26, 27-year-old. And he's trying to buy his goal now is to buy the Jets. And he's a motivational speaker, but he hates being called a motivational speaker because he's in your face, like, get the F off your ass, like stuff like that. Like he's go out and do it. I like him.
A lot of people, that's
Warren
what
Buffett,
it takes.
He's a positive guy. Like if you follow him on social media and stuff, he's a real positive guy.
He's the kind of guy that I would see, just pulling up to Bob's Hamburger and just sitting in there eating a hamburger. You never even know it.
Those are
he lives in the same house that he did when he was like 20 years old or what.
Exactly.
It's
people
crazy.
Like that.
He drives a pickup truck.
I like people that like are very real, down to earth people. There's some very rich people that are interesting, but they're not inspirational, in my opinion. Just that's my opinion though. I'm not going to judge anyone else's inspirations. If you love yourself, like I don't know, some flashy athlete, that's your inspiration, man. That's good for you. Follow what they did. I bet you they worked hard because no one gets anywhere without working hard.
Yeah, nothing's easy. That's for sure.
All right.
Yeah, that's a true story.
So let's get to know a little bit more who you are here. Let's say, what is a few moments in your life that really turned your mindset around, turned your life around? What's a few defining moments for you?
Defining moments.
Maybe one even. I only had one or two, but I'm real young.
I was probably right around, how old are you?
19, about to be 20 in a month or two.
I was probably
2
right
months.
around your age. I'm 47 now. Right around your age, and I got in some trouble. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ended up going to jail and called my mom. She's like, what were you doing? I told her on the phone. She's like, deal with it. That's probably the best advice. And I'm like, whoa. So, and then I
at the time you probably didn't like the advice.
No, I'm like, man, this ain't for me. And that was kind of changed me. Right after that, I'm like, man, I can't go down this path.
There's only
that's
two ways.
That's when I joined the military. Everything.
Mm-hmm. There's only two ways you can react to something going wrong in your life. You can blame other people and keep acting that way and act like you're going to get away with it, or you can take the blame on yourself and say, I messed up, and change. The people who say they don't like people that never change, I don't trust that. If people don't change, they're not getting better. They're not growing.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, you're either growing or you're sliding. Mm-hmm. You never stay the
same.
There's
no
staying the same.
I'm a firm believer.
I've been down here, up here, down here, down here, up, and I'm just trying to like go, slowly.
You're trying to go up,
but man, it's like
it's not easy.
Knock you down, go up. I'm sure you heard about the Halloween fiasco.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So I'm doing good, I'm building it back up. Boom, sucker punch, man. And it was the media blew it all up. It was total false. And boom, I'm back down to zero. And then, I'm just all over the board with. But I learned a lot from it.
Exactly.
I learned a lot.
Learning from your mistakes is more valuable than getting everything right. If I got everything right, I'd be bored. That's no fun. You gotta mess up a few times and learn. I mean, shoot, I stuttered my whole first episode, and that made me get better in my second episode. Right. Everything has a little bit of growth, no matter how big or small. You're growing. If you're not growing, you got to change something and start growing.
Yeah, if you're not growing, you're probably sliding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to stay the same in anything.
It very much is. All right, so before we're going to get real deep here in 2 questions. We got 2 real deep questions back to back, but this is in this episode, since it's the Dream Tour, I thought I'm going to add something a little lighthearted, light in the mood, because it gets real deep at the end. My chest gets all heavy. I want to lighten up the mood a little bit, so I want to hear, do you have any funny, like, dreams, like a dream that happened while you were sleeping, a funny or outrageous dream that you remember in your life?
Man, I had a weird one, not yesterday, but yeah, pretty, about last week sometime.
Uh-huh.
I love that show, Ancient Aliens. You ever watch it?
Yes, I love that show.
I fell asleep watching it, man. Next thing you know, man, I got all these, I'm like freaking out thinking, I'm dreaming, these aliens are all around, but I'm listening to it, I'm sleeping. I remember that. I woke up, I was like, oh man, I gotta turn that shit off. Yeah, where's the off button?
Yeah, I started listening to this.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I listened to a sleep meditation because I was having trouble falling asleep a few months ago, and it was like, all right, we're gonna talk you to sleep, and I was like, this is an hour long. And they say like, you can hear in your sleep and your brain can react, but you don't know it's reacting. So stuff like that would make it weird. That'd make a weird dream.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I heard it going on.
You heard the aliens messing around.
Oh yeah.
But you
come through the door. Don't look at the light.
Oh gosh. Man. All right. You ready for the deep questions here?
Give me some deep ones.
All right. So, when you die, what do you want to represent or be remembered for? Or what do you want your friends to say about you?
I have a couple different groups of friends. I have friends that I grew up with ever since, elementary school, and I have a lot of business friends now, and I would like to be remembered as somebody that would, listen, that could step back and look at different situations, and I figure it out. That's almost my superhero powers, to figure out like deals and chaos and stuff like that. I like to give back to the community. Every day I think every day in my life I donate something. I give something away, and I try to get my youngest son to do that too. I think last year, every Springfield baseball, softball, everything. I don't know. I think I sponsored all of them. All of them. I get by. It's pretty neat. I like to, I would like to make it big, and then, near the end of my life, figure out how to, get rid of it all. Give it all back. That's kind of like the Rockefellers. I was watching that the other day, Men Who Built America. Yeah. I thought it was so cool how they just constantly competed in business. I'm the richest in the world. I'm the richest. And then when they got to a certain age, they competed who could give away the most. Yeah. It was crazy. And those guys there, they changed the whole entire United States. They
did. They built they like what we live in today. Some people don't get that. Like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, people like that, they give so much.
Oh, that Gates Foundation, that's changed more lives than probably anything in this world.
They provided probably to Africa. They did the toilets to Africa, and they provided imagine living a life where you didn't have proper toilets. Like he's changing that whole country by doing that. And he's providing jobs to all these engineers and very smart people. Like, it's really, people didn't understand for a long time that competing is great, but helping and competing, being able to have a balance, that balance makes like the whole everyone move faster. As soon as we started giving money to people in need and competing, once we had that balance, the country grew 10 times as fast. The world's growing so much faster now because I think it's a lot from giving. Right. Yes. It helps it out.
Another thing that I want to bring up is I'm a huge father's rights movement. I totally believe that that what's going on in like the inner cities and everything is it's because there's fatherless homes out there. Yeah. And how the system is set up, it's not getting to the core root of it. If you give a guy an opportunity to be a dad, he's going to step up instead of just, choking him out financially or throwing him in jail. Give him a right to be a dad. We're dads first. we're not paychecks. I know I'm probably going to get every time I say that, I get a lot of shit from it. But I mean that's the deal. I love. I support all kinds of dads that are going through some stuff. I've known some guys that actually committed suicide because they can't see their kids.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big problem. And it's one that people don't look at a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I have, I think that, I've been advocating for it 50-50, shared right off the rip, right off the bat, and then it kind of, and then you could deviate from there, if the guy, doesn't want to step up, or the female, and then you could deviate from it. But the child needs both the mom and dad in their life. They definitely need that. I know that from a fact.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have my, real father in my life, so I kind of know.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So from that last question, from what you want to represent, do you think you're close to that? Do you think you're almost there to represent what you want to represent? If that day was tomorrow that you were to go, would people say what you want them to say about you, or you got a little bit of work to do? You moving in the right direction?
I always have work to do. I mean, constant work, constant. So even if I'm, people think I'm at that point, I look at myself like, no, I got a long way to go. Just, it's, early to bed, early to rise, get your ass up and advertise. That's all.
That's a great saying. I'm going to have to put that on the board.
I've been saying that my whole life. And, every day I get up, go to the gym, try to stay competitive, and just, you gotta do it, in life, and just keep driving forward.
Yeah.
I love this format. It's cool. I love it.
So we're coming towards the end of the interview here, but I've got one more question for you. I feel like we've learned a lot about each other. The crowd has learned a lot about you. Maybe you learned a little bit of something about yourself
these
today.
Are some good questions. I've been on podcasts, but I've never been asked questions like this. It's great.
It's good to hear.
I'm great.
Just trying to get this going. I want to get some interesting people on here. I've got some good talk, and this is one of my favorite ones yet. Right. This one and the last one were really good. They had some great growth for the conversation. So after we've discussed all this on Dream Tour, I want to know, what's your dream?
My dream is just keep building it, man. Just keep every day the grind, doing it, making myself better, trying to make people around me better, trying to be a better leader. If you don't have your health, you don't really have anything. So, I've been really trying to focus on that. I always knew that in life, but when you're, 19 to, 35, I was like, I can do anything, but after 35, I'm like, damn, what does that say? I can't see it. I can't, it just start kind of going downhill a little bit, but I'm just trying to, be a good role model for my, kids, for employees, and, just be badass. That's it's a boss man motto.
It's a good dream. All right, so if you want to just give everyone a second and just say when your events are, what's coming up, what you want people to check out, a website, social media, just give people a breakdown of what you do. I'll tag it in the end of the video, and we'll get an outro here after
cool. You. Mostly I'm available on Facebook. That's what I pretty much do. I have other people that do my Twitter and all that stuff, but mainly Jeremy Caudill on Facebook. That's my private page. Jeremy Caudill Promotions. Honor Fighting Championship on Facebook. Ohio Championship Wrestling on Facebook. Bob's Hamburger on Facebook. Ritzy Car Wash on Facebook. I forgot to talk about the car wash I own. I've owned that forever too. But the Facebook pages I pretty much manage, and then you can follow us also on Instagram and Twitter, and it's pretty much it. HonorFightingChampionship.com. You can buy tickets over that. Our next event is March 14th. That's going to be
little people fighting.
That's it. Little people. Okay. Here's a good story about that. So I'm really involved with pro wrestling. And, I have the little people, they get pissed off at me. You can't say, we got little people coming up, their brand is midget wrestling.
Oh, really?
Oh, they get pissed off. They're like, listen, we're midgets. You can't change our brand. So I hold the midget wrestling every year down at the Rubber Ducks.
Really?
So I'm getting all this.
So they don't like the little people.
No.
That seems like such something like this. Like the people would do is give people a name they don't want.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I can't speak for all of them, but
yeah,
I know the ones that are into pro wrestling. They are midget wrestlers, man. They are.
That's what
they don't want to. Yeah.
That fighting will be. I'm excited to go to that fight. I'll be there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
All right, so we're going to wrap up the podcast here today. Thank you guys for listening. Go ahead and if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, check out the other videos, check out the audio versions on Spotify and Apple Music if you want to listen. If you're listening on there, go ahead and follow and check on every Sunday for new episodes. And if you have a dream, just keep following it. Stay positive. Positivity is key to success. Positivity is possibility. So just keep working, keep grinding. You got it.
Hey, I am a man with my feet on the ground, nigga, I stand. I'ma face my problems, don't help it hands. I'm just saying that I never ran. Yeah. I had to ball in spite of the pain. I was tired of the losses, I wanted the game. I want the whole world to know my name. If I make it out, know I'm bringing the game. They my brothers, yeah, they know my pain. We don't share a mind, but I love them the same. Gotta stay humble, now I stay in my lane. Never let the money fuck with my brain.